My daughter Molly is 22 years old and she has Down syndrome. I read online about the Futures Foundation. I knew that they did the camp grants, but I also read that they did things that may seem simple to us but make a world of difference for people with special needs. This particular camp works in conjunction with the Down Syndrome Guild, and they partner college-age and high school-age students with your special needs student. And so it's just a wonderful experience, and it's a real relief for a parent to know that your child is going to be in good hands and with people who understand.
It's really fun.
For Molly, coming to camp is a chance for independence, and thank you so much for providing it for her.
So, Doc, how are you feeling?
Good.
Pretty happy about those shoes, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Sylvester was born with club feet, and he required special shoes his entire life. At the time the Futures Foundation heard about Sylvester's story, he had been wearing the same pair of shoes for over 4 years, and they were completely wrecked. Sylvester has a job where he helps package and break down boxes. He also goes out into the community to firehouses and churches to help clean them, and the condition of his shoes was really preventing him from getting through a day at work.
They were taking it up. The bottom would come loose.
The cost of new orthotic shoes for Sylvester was over $1,000. His family and his staff had been working for over a year to try to get Medicaid and Medicare to cover the cost of the shoes. They said they would cover it if Sylvester was a diabetic, but he doesn't have diabetes, and so he was denied help.
When shoe came, I felt happy. I can go to work, I can go to church, then I can go outside, I can walk around, all around. Every morning I put them on. When I feel my sock, my new shoe, I feel good. I ready to go to work. I want to thank y'all for y'all report. I feel good. I feel happy.
Jonathan's always been a kid with a lot of big ideas. It was for Christmas, we got him a lathe and then signed him up for a class. There we learned how to make these pens, and I gotta say, he just took off from there.
Jonathan was diagnosed at 5.5 weeks of age with a choroid plexus cyst, and it did cause some disabilities. One is the right-sided hemiparesis. And so he really has very limited use of his right side. By age 3, come to a realization that what we wanted to do was help him be the best that he could be.
I hope they would see me as just like someone without a disability. I like selling pens when I go to craft fairs because I get to interact with the customers.
The quality of his workmanship is incredible. The fact that Jonathan is able to do what he can do is very amazing. Came into our store and presented the product that he was making. Customers love it. The beautiful colors that are in the pens, and we love dealing with Jonathan.
I wanted to actually expand my business to making bowls.
And that was a point at which he got the grant from Futures Foundation.
When the lathe showed up from the Futures Foundation, I was very excited because there's no way I could have got it otherwise.
The Futures Foundation grant was a validation from someone other than his family, his parents, that he could accomplish goals that he has set for himself.
John is 25, got diagnosed with autism when he was 11 years old, and then he was developing different symptoms throughout his early teenage years, but we didn't really know that there was something majorly wrong until he was 16. And he had massive seizure, and all the cognitive decline started to happen at that time. John loves movies. He loves dancing. He loves Disney World, because no matter where he goes or what he does or who he's around, he's like the happiest kid, and he's on fire.
I find one of the challenging things with John is inside his mind he's much more capable than his body allows him to be.
The Futures Foundation has really helped because the lift chair was an important part, but the number one most important thing was his hearing aids, because it gives him life. It allows him to have his balance and steady and do all his favorite things, because without his hearing aids, he wouldn't be able to. He would miss so much of the world going on around him. And we're so grateful to the Futures Foundation for that. There are things that are important, and there are people that are really important that make life better for John Michael.
The aid that we get with the caregivers, it gives us some time to know that John is safe, some time that we can know that he's being cared for and he's going and doing fun things while we can't always do that.
Caregivers are so important for John Michael, not just to have a friend, because they really are a friend, they're a companion, they're somebody to keep him safe. We have a young child as well that we have to be able to spend time with. If we didn't have caregivers, I wouldn't be able to work. And I'm a nurse, so I only work 3 days a week. Those are long days, and I wouldn't be able to work if I didn't have a good caregiver here with John, because I wouldn't be able to leave him. I couldn't provide a life for my kids or my family without working. I have gone about trying to find a caregiver in every way that exists. Lindsay is somebody that I met about 7 years ago. She's been through everything with us. Everything. She's been a part of the family.
I've been a caretaker for about 10 years. I've worked with the Whaley family for about 7 years. An average day with John, I come to his home, I go and help him get off the bus, and then we do a couple activities. One of our favorite things to do is to have dance parties. He's got some moves. He has gone through more than anybody that I know, but he is the happiest person that I know. And it's so motivational. I unfortunately had to leave John Michael because as hard as it is, I was not able to make a living working as a caregiver. I missed John Michael. I missed feeling good about what I do for a living. I asked the Whaleys if it was possible if I could still work with John Michael 1 day a week. I'm a full-time optician, so that I can be with John Michael 1 day a week. It's unfortunately a struggle for not only me, but other caretakers to be able to make a living. When we are at home is $10 an hour through respite. CLS, which is community living, is the highest, and that's $13. I also have a couple of friends that are caretakers, and they've had to leave their group homes because that's even less amount of pay. If I had to describe John Michael in one word, I would say brave.
It took 3.5 years to find Allie, and she again came to us through Kyle. It just happened to be that she knew somebody that knew her. And it was another one of those things where when we met her and we brought her in, we knew instantly that we liked her. And then when you find somebody like Allie, then you have this relief, like you can breathe. And you can just kind of sigh and say, okay, good. I can go to work today, and I can not worry today.
I have only been working with the Whaley family since mid-August, so only a couple of months. I would describe John Michael as hopeful because every day he makes me laugh and he amazes me. Whenever he's in a really good mood, he'll start throwing his hands, give him his boxing gloves, and I hold up a pillow and he just starts going. I do it because it's a super rewarding job. It fills me up with love and happiness, and it makes me feel really good when I'm making someone else feel good. I work 4 jobs, 3 of them, I am a caregiver, and one of them is for the Whaleys. And another job I work is at elementary school here in Troy. I work with kindergartners who are autistic, and I help them with academic support and behavior. I work 4 jobs because I am a college graduate and I need the money. I do encourage others to be a caregiver because it is such a rewarding job.
When you do meet the Lindsays and the Alleys, you know it's special, and you think, what can we do to keep this person here? Is it money? Is it time? Is it just letting them into our family? John seems to be a pretty good bargaining chip once they get to know him.
He is the happiest, most upbeat kid that I've ever seen. And he has no problem reminding you that every day is a good day, no matter what happened. Every day is a good day. And we want to provide him with the best life that we can, and we can't do it alone. So having any assistance, we're just really grateful for, because it adds so much value to his life that we kind of need it all. It takes a village. We appreciate everything the Futures Foundation has done for John Michael and for being part of our village.